Hey there. I'm working on the thank you cards for Ashley and Paul. Theirs was the New Orleans wedding a few weeks ago that had those gorgeous flock damask invitations. Right now, I'm printing the return address. I'll print the thank you card itself in just a few minutes. But a lot of you have asked questions about these presses, and while printing might not be kind of the core of what I do, it certainly is one of the most fascinating to watch. So I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk to you about one of these presses. So these are my presses. This is the kluge that broke a few videos ago. It's still great for ink letterpress printing. I could feed it by hand, it can do really large sheets. I just can't automatically feed the press, which means I can't walk away from it. I have to hand feed each and every sheet. It slows things down a lot. This is what replaced it. It's my Heidelberg windmill, and by all accounts, it's a way better press. It's a little bit smaller, but it's more reliable, it's more efficient, it's more accurate, it's easier to clean up. It's an awesome press. But what I really want to talk to you about today is the new kluge. It doesn't replace either of the other presses. Those print ink, this one prints foil. The press moves paper thanks to a vacuum pump way down inside. When I bought this one, it happened to come with a spare. I'm pretty sure it needs to be rebuilt. But this is what sits under the press, and an eccentric crankshaft moves this piston up and down and creates both suction and blowing to power the press. And would you look at that? It does work. These are called feeder suckers. They take paper from the magazine and feed it into the press. And then the delivery suckers down here deliver the paper out of the press onto the delivery table. Right now I've only got 2 feeder suckers on here. I use these really great ones called Bigfoot suckers that actually extend and grab only the top sheet off. A seasoned printer might tell you you don't need them, and the reality is you probably don't. I find these make it easier to grab only one sheet at a time and get me printing faster instead of fiddling with suckers. This is the thing I burned myself on. Right now, I've got the thermostat set to 215 degrees. That heats up this little copper plate. I have those made by a company called Metal Magic. This is what that copper plate looks like. I send vector files to Metal Magic and they photo etch it into 1/4 inch copper and send it back really quickly for me, so I can get jobs on press pretty quickly if there's a rush. This heated base has a bunch of threaded holes in it, and I can use toggles to lock down these copper dies, but a friend from a Facebook forum of all places taught me a better method, and it involves using this heat-sensitive 3M tape that I've got stuck to the back of this plate. So I've taped this copper plate where it belongs on the printed sheet, and now I'm going to put it in the press and close it with the heat on. By the way, this lever right here, it's an impression lever. It throws the impression on and off the press, and when it's off, the press can cycle without printing. That's especially helpful on inking presses, but it really works well on foil presses too. The great thing about it is the vacuum system is set up that if it misses a sheet, picking up a sheet from the magazine, it automatically throws the impression off so that it doesn't print where it's not supposed to. And then it rings a bell, so if I'm in another part of the shop or focused on another task and I hear that bell, I know that it missed a sheet and there's something I need to check out. So I've got it there and I've got it centered. This technique Jesse taught me really helps. By starting with it on the sheet, I know that it's already right about where it's going to need to be so that when it hits the guides, it sits where it's supposed to. The challenge now is that it's not drawing enough foil, and when it prints once, it prints the fleur-de-lis, and it doesn't pull far enough away that the fleur-de-lis is showing on the next one. So I have to adjust how long the draw of the foil is, how much it pulls each cycle of the press. Right now, being set all the way at the bottom, it pulls a really short draw. I want to bring it up just a little bit, just a hair, and this wing nut is so messed up that I have to come in and loosen it like that. All right, let's try it again. Sweet, it drew just enough that I'm not seeing that fleur-de-lis anymore. That's how close it got. And because the sheet is longer, I need to adjust the location of the delivery arms. This little ball right here is adjusted by this screw. And at a certain point in the cycle, that screw pushes the ball up and releases the vacuum, so the delivery arm releases the sheet into the press. So I know that probably leaves you with more questions than answers. Comment below with your questions. I'll try to get to as many as I can, and maybe I'll do another video about this press. I know I'm going to do one about the Heidelberg windmills soon. In the meantime, could you hit that like button and subscribe, please? Can't wait to see you next time.